Hey, use code BENGAL at sign up on FanDuel. You get a free $20 to play with. Also, check out my links down in the description for Twitter, Twitch, second and third channels for all different types of content that you might enjoy. So be sure to check it out, and let's get into the video. What's going on, guys? Bengal here, coming back at you with another video. Today we're going to be checking out the Jacksonville Jaguars offseason preview. Per usual, you're going to disagree. That's all right. No hard feelings. These are just, it's just speculation, things like that. Players that would, in theory, make sense. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. This is a talented team that could not capitalize this year, largely in part to their quarterback situation. Blake Bortles is an absolute disaster. They need to get a quarterback. That's going to be the focus of the offseason. And with our re-signings, hey, I'm not going to list too many. Josh Lambo was the most consistent kicker the Jags have had in a little while. And I think A.J. Khan is a good offensive lineman for backup depth. They have a bunch of players coming back. Khan can potentially start at right guard. They have Norwell coming back to left guard. They have Linder coming back to center. Jeremy Parnell back to right tackle. Cam Robinson back to left tackle. It's really just about finding that right guard spot, and whether that's Khan or not, I don't know. But at least a good backup. Rashad Green, not a game-breaking wide receiver by any means, but I think a good special teamer. And Corey Grant, solid enough running back. We're not going to bring back TJ Yeldon. Not looking to trade Leonard Fournette. Corey Grant is a backup running back that makes some sense. As far as signings go, we're going to start out with potentially that future starting right guard, and that is going to be Quinton Spain. The Jags have a little bit of money to work with. They really do. And they can afford to make some moves here. Quinton Spain, I think, should be a player that they look to target. Would improve their offensive line. This could be their starting offensive lineman on that right guard spot. And he's a good player. He had a good career in Tennessee. He's not old. This is a guy that could fit right into the offense and make an impact immediately. Next up, Kevin Minter, formerly with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers most recently. Didn't really play a whole lot down there. Injury has been a problem for Kevin Minter, but he's a decent inside linebacker. I think it's been a struggle for the Jags a little bit to replace Paul Posluszny. While Kevin Minter probably isn't that player, he's an upgrade at what you have currently. So even though he's coming off an injury-ridden season, he's a decent player that has shown flashes in the past. 94 tackles in his 25-year-old 2015 season. He's a decent player, can impact the game, good tackler. Paul Posluszny replacement, I don't know. You got two good linebackers there. Maybe Minter can be a good rotational third. And then by far the biggest signing is Tyler Eifert. Another kind of injury-ridden player, but when he's healthy, Tyler Eifert is without question one of the best tight ends in the NFL. He should be fairly cheap just because of his history of injury. He's only played 6 games in the last 2 years. He has only 8 games under his belt in 2016. He hasn't been healthy. It is a problem, but he is a monster when he is healthy. 2015, when he played 13 games, started 12 of them, 74 targets. He managed to haul in 52 of those 74 targets, 615 yards, as well as 13 touchdowns. Great red zone threat for whoever the quarterback's going to be. I think this is a big weapon and someone that won't be that expensive. I know Austin Seferian-Jenkins is there, but I think Tyler Eifert, without question, is an upgrade. And hey, look at it this way. Worst case scenario, Eifert goes down with an injury. You have ASJ to back him up. You can run 2 tight end sets. This would be a very interesting signing, but it would help out the offense. Their wide receivers are a little bit of a concern, but you know what? Go out, sign a beast tight end, beast tight end, and really open up some of those receivers. Open up your offense. We're going to jump in round 1 as the Jags go Dwayne Haskins. Whether they have to trade up to number 1 in order to make this happen, or whether he's available at 7, I think most likely they're going to have to trade up to make this a possibility. We'll pretend they give up a 2020 round 1 or something like that. But Dwayne Haskins is the best quarterback in this draft class, in my opinion, and the Jaguars could do very well to take him and be that franchise guy under center for this offense. They have some problems. I think they need a true number 1 receiver. Marquise Lee's coming back and healthy. You still have control of some of these other guys. at receiver, and health has been a concern just all over the place. I know we talked about Rashad Green coming back, but that's not really who I'm talking about. You lost Allen Robinson a couple of years ago. You just haven't had your main receiver there. Dante Moncrief is not someone we're bringing back. But, like, Keelan Cole is decent. That's about as far as I would go, unfortunately. I think he's decent. D.D. Westbrook is decent. I think DJ Chark has been criminally misutilized. It seems like they're in such a weird spot at wide receiver. So I'm not going to take one here at this pick. We're going to go quarterback for whoever he ends up throwing to. Maybe Tyler Eifert would be one of those guys. But, you know, why go receiver this early? I don't think it would make any sense at all. You got to take your franchise signal caller, and that could be Dwayne Haskins. Round 2, we're going Paris Campbell. I'm sticking the Ohio State guys together. Dwayne Haskins love throwing at Paris Campbell. He's a big threat after he catches the ball. And it'd be an interesting receiver core in Jacksonville for sure. Paris Campbell, D.D. Westbrook. Hopefully DJ Chark gets a lot more playing time. And then you have Keelan Cole, Tyler Eifert, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. I think that's a much better offense than what they've had. Campbell is a real big deep threat. Someone that can kill you after catching the football as well. I think he's more than worth a selection at the top of the second round. The first of 2 third-round picks. This is T.J. Hockenson, a tight end out of Iowa. I think it's a slight stretch that he would fall to the third round, but I think there's a legitimate possibility that he is the third or fourth best tight end in this class with Irv Smith Jr. and with Noah Fant. He might not even be the best tight end coming out of Iowa. And I mean, there are some good tight ends. So to say that he could fall to the very start of the third round, I don't think is that much of a stretch. I think it's more of a stretch to include him in the first round. Some teams could value him higher, but this is one of those weird players that you guys will say, oh, no way he falls to the third. But we say that about so many players that end up just falling way down the board. And the bottom line is the media doesn't know. Only the teams know when they're in these spots who they're actually going to take. T.J. Hockenson, basically a second-round pick. It's so close to the second round with the pick at the top of the third here. But T.J. Hockenson, another tight end. Don't know about Austin Seferian-Jenkins. The reason I have Hockenson going, even with Eifert, we talked about his injury concern, and then ASJ, potential off-the-field issues. Of course, he had a DUI not too long ago. So it's a weird player. He's on for another 2 years, but Hockenson can be a rotational guy that maybe you go out and you get him good value in the third. Your third round pick is going to go to O'Shane Ximenez, an edge out of Old Dominion, rotational pass rusher. You traded away Dante Fowler. He was kind of your rotational pass rusher, and I think this is what O'Shane Ximenez can bring to the table for the Jaguars. You got to know Tom Coughlin loves his edge rushers, loves his defensive linemen. Jags in round 4 take one of my favorite names in the class, Hamp Cheevers, cornerback out of Boston College. I don't know why I like it so much. He had 7 picks this past year for BC. Decent player. Interceptions don't tell the whole story. He'd be a decent selection here in the 4th round. They don't have a 5th round, but they do have a 6th. And boy, would this pick be sweet. It's William Sweet, offensive tackle out of UNC. Decent player here for the Tar Heels. Rotational, or backup offensive lineman, I should say. And then round 7, we're going to Azeez Al-Shaair, linebacker out of FAU. Special teamer. Can rotate him in at linebacker when you need. That's pretty much his value here in the 7th round. Let's take a look at the new starting offense. A lot of pink here. Pink, of course, for me, signifies a new player to the team, but it also signifies people